Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's KT Temple from the Mic'd Upstate podcast, and I am here with one of our ATLs, Glen Rogers. And if you don't know what an ATL is, that's the assistant team leader. That's the person who's in charge with bringing on new agents, and turns out a lot of young agents too. And we wanted to make an episode because, I started out in real estate when I was 19. I started working in a Keller Williams office when I was 17. I'm 31 now, so that's wild that it's been almost 15 years of working in a KW office. And Glen, he's only 24 now. And so I thought we would have a lot of stories to share about getting started as an agent at a young age and just figuring out some of the solutions that we might have. So before we get started, Glen, tell everybody about yourself and who you are.
Thanks, KT. Glen Rogers. I grew up in Sydney, New York, and if you have no idea where that is, it's not Australia. It's not spelled the same. It's right in between the Oneonta office and the Binghamton office. I know with the whole upstate New York region, everything is in the sticks these days. I got started in real estate I started my course at 18, finished up when I was 19, got licensed and started. I was that kid who walked in the office in that super baggy suit and tie that did not fit me with a briefcase.
Did you go to college at all before, or did you go straight into real estate?
So at 17, I was on track to, I submitted my application for West Point and Air Force Academy. Got diagnosed with diabetes at 17, and so I went to business instead because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. So I went to BCC, stayed on campus. I enjoyed the Binghamton area quite a bit. Went for one semester, 4.0, dropped out with my twin sister. We stick together. And yeah, man, it was really cool. It was a great experience, but I knew that it wasn't fulfilling to me to go to college, and it was stuff that I was already pretty proficient in. So I was like, you guys have never owned a business, you've never ran a business, like, let me figure it out on my own at least. Picked up
I made
some
it all
books.
in 3 months in college before I was like, it takes 3 months to become a real estate agent. I can just do that instead.
Yeah, I got licensed in life insurance, and I did my stockbroker licensing. I did the SIE and all those courses for that while in college. I would prioritize that before my schoolwork. So I was like, yeah, I don't think college is for me if I'm doing this.
Gotcha. So you get your real estate license, and then did you join Keller Williams immediately, or did you go somewhere else? How did that process work for you?
I interviewed almost every brokerage here, and I met with KW last, and it was a really great feeling. I felt like everyone was like, hey, kid, you're not going to succeed for the next 5 years. Like, figure it out and let us know how it goes. I was like, what's going on here? Then met with Allison Dreamy, who is now my boss. Love her to death. Sorry for calling you boss if you listen to this. And I've been with KW from the start. I did leave for roughly like 3 months to go help start a franchise commercial brokerage. Nothing was wrong with them. It just wasn't the right fit. That person was my mentor for the time in the commercial world, and he was phenomenal. So it was great to learn from him. I just came back home. That's how that conversation went with Allie.
Now, are you still in production at all? Or are you fully on the leadership side?
So I am still in production. I haven't gone to the other levels in the organizational chart. I haven't hired an admin yet, but I have showing assistants who do help me, and I cut them into the deal. But I primarily do commercial real estate, and I focus on like investments, restaurants and bars, and leasing as well. And then some residential, usually for friends and family. I used to say I couldn't sell a home to save my life. And that was the limiting belief as a young agent in this business. But now I've been doing it long enough. I'm very proficient in my listing presentations, buyer consultations. So I do it for friends and family. So still in production.
Got it. So talk to us about becoming an ATL. What was that journey like? and what has been challenging for you, and what has been exciting about that role, and how have you gotten through those things?
I like that question. I would say the journey to it was an interesting one that I didn't even know I was ready for, truthfully. It was shortly after I came back to KW and there was a vacancy for the team leader role. And I started asking questions around the office. And I said, what does it entail? Like, what would I be doing?
What does it
Would I
do? A
be
lot of people meet
compensated?
team leader and they go, "It's just a guy I met. I have no idea what they do."
Yeah. I didn't really know what Allie was doing all the time. Like sometimes her door was closed, sometimes it was open. Cool. Um, and I started asking more questions. Obviously, one of those people was Allie, and she was coaching me towards it. And she was like, "Yeah, get on my calendar. I'll show you how it's kind of done. And if you want to pursue it, like that's an option for you." Um, and then quickly realized, like, wow, I get to meet really cool individuals, interview them, learn who they are, and build a relationship around more than just real estate. And I was like, I love this. I had no idea that was my purpose. I'm all for it, and pursued it as hard as possible. And I remember getting the role, and Allie was like, "Congratulations. I'm super proud of you. You're going to be great. You have to fail 10 times in this role a month." And I was like, that wasn't on the job description. Like I read the fine print. Um, and those failures were around my efforts. I had to go out there and meet people and have people, hang up the phone on me. Essentially, if you're an agent door knocking, it was like when people close the door on you, and that was that feeling of failure. And everybody hates failing. Uh, as much as we say like, "Oh, I'm not afraid of it. I've built this career." Like we all have failed forward. Gary Keller always says that: fail forward, fail forward. And it like creates this growth within you that you understand where you may have downfalls, and those were the biggest challenges for me. I remember my first consultation appointment, I vomited KW onto everybody. I was like, "KW's the best brokerage ever." And I quickly realized it's not about KW. It's not about anything but them and how I can help them. And when I
Yeah,
started doing that, I started to show the value.
absolutely. Yeah, there's only a few things people are ever looking for, and it's community, time, and money. Those are really it. And if you can figure out what that need is in that person's life, then KW makes sense. But KW in a lot of aspects doesn't make sense for me. But the things that KW offers that are important to me, that's why I'm still here, right? And so
Absolutely.
until you figure that out, you can't really build that relationship with somebody. So you've gotten into the ATL role. You're kind of getting your footing. What is one of the big wins that you've had since you've been in this position?
Like I've brought people into the company, and that's a great feeling, but that feeling goes away, truthfully. Um I There's two stories that I could think of that like choke me up to this day, and I had the absolute luxury, brand new person, fresh from Department of State licensing, just got the license, and we just started doing a consultation right then and there because I wanted to know who he was and see how could I coach him. How does he think? How does he operate? Where does he align on the DISC personality assessment? We haven't sent the KPA validation yet, and he broke down to me and he was like, "Listen, like I'm sorry." He was like, I left the pharmaceutical world to pursue real estate. My father just passed. Like, thank you so much for taking the time and being present with me. He's like, it's been the most challenging period of my life. And I got to watch that individual grow and grow and grow and grow. And he said, like, "Dude, I wouldn't be where I am if it weren't for you." And that was just me being present, showing up. I didn't show him a KW logo. And that was
Yeah.
just beautiful to me. And the other one was when I was doing a consultation with an agent who's very close to me. I love this person. She has been with me in my real estate world for 4 years now, and going on. And we've always relied on each other, coached each other, when we were both real estate agents in production. And I did the motivational interview and the life story interview, and talking about who she is and all those events that got her to this point. And then let's look 5 years down the road and what you want your life to look like. And in that moment, we're at a restaurant and she just started crying. And she was like, I've never had anyone ask me such vulnerable questions on who I am and who I am. And those are the moments that makes this career worth it. Every day is not fun and easy, but I show up 120, 130% and give my all by 8 o'clock at night because I love being present. I wasn't always in my life, and now I get the opportunity every single day to show up. That's all I want.
So one of your big roles in this is to bring on new agents and see them succeed. And what common factors do you see new agents do that sets them up for success early on? We know that agents who are brand new into this industry, they don't normally last past 2 years. And so I'm sure you're probably seeing, some similarities between these people that are sticking around. What are they, and how are they doing them at a high level?
I scream this. Everybody in my office hates when I say this. And a lot of newer agents, they do this almost immediately. There's a famous triangle in the MREA, Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. It's the red book. It's gone by tons of names. Written by Gary Keller, Jay Papasan, and Dave Jenks, RIP. In that book, it talks about being prospecting base, marketing enhanced. So a physical action to find leads, and then your long-term game is your marketing. But you can't market anything if, like, everybody does the new post, like, hi, I just entered real estate. Like, that's great. Where are we going to go from there? It usually stops after there, I say. And we have an influx of younger agents getting into this business. If you haven't joined KWYP, here's my KWYP plug. Please do. And the first thing that they do is they get attached to the social media aspect, the AI aspect, which are tools. They're tools for you to use in your business, but you need to have a foundational, concrete, set in stone business developing and growing to be able to market at a high capacity. I see that all the time. They're like, yeah, I just made 4 posts on Instagram. I'm like, great. What were the interactions with it?
Yeah.
I don't have
Did
any
anyone even
followers.
see it?
It's like,
Well, and I want to point something out that you said that's really important to me. And it's that we are not, and you'll hear this if you pay attention to it, but it slides between the cracks. We are not in a marketing business. We're not in a sales business. We're in a relationship business. And so you
absolutely.
can market the heck out of people. But at the end of the day, have you built a relationship? Have you actually gone and provided so much value to that person that they are always going to think of you as the agent? And just by making clever little funny AI posts is never going to be what that relationship builds into.
And I want to piggyback on that because it's the belief. It's the belief of value that we have within ourselves. I've always said this. I went into the commercial realm as an agent at 19 years old. I grew out this funky mustache and beard so that I looked older. Thank everybody in my family that I'm Italian and I could pull it off. I had a mustache in middle school.
I can only get the funky mustache. I don't even have a beard option.
I like the goatee look. I can't pull it off. But that's the thing that kills every single agent. They don't believe. They don't believe that they have the value to communicate. And I said it. I was like, who's going to let this 19-year-old college dropout sell them a house, sell them
Mm-hmm.
a huge investment portfolio. And I started panicking, and that's when I realized, like, I hate this saying, fake it till you make it. And that's what I used for a while. And now I look myself in the mirror,
Yeah.
whether with full conviction, I have
There's
value to
missing,
bring.
one part to that, and it's fake it till you make it and you become it. And that's the missing part. And
Yeah.
I get it. Trust me, I'm not a podcast host, guys. I've just been doing this for a bunch of years now because I was just like, all right, I'm a podcast host. I just faked it until we now have 2 shows running. And I love that, Glenn. Like, it doesn't feel good faking it, but you kind of have to do it, especially in the beginning.
It's put the first foot forward and the next foot after. Like, keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Massive
And
action.
I get it. I get it. Being young and saying, like, oh my gosh, I can't afford a home. How am I going to sell a home? I've heard it all. And
Yeah.
when we have that conviction behind ourselves, I tell everybody this: you can call the top agents in our board, in our MLS, or anywhere in this world. They're busy. I promise you, I will show up for you. I will fight for you. I don't know all the answers. I can find them. AI is a real thing. Google's a real thing, even though everyone's going away from it. Like,
No,
I'll find them.
that's one of Gary Keller's quotes, is that the definition of a professional is that I will tell you what I know, and if I don't know it, I'll go and figure it out for you. He goes, you're not expected to know everything, but you got to be willing to go find that information. And it's easier than ever now. That used to be really important 15 years ago when we were still teaching agents how to use Google.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think it's important to remember we're a brokerage. Yes, I've seen other brokerages that everybody's on their own little island, right? It's a relationship business, so develop relationships not just with your clients, but with other agents, and have those relationships where you can rely on people and say, hey, listen, I've never wrote this kind of addendum before. Could you give me some guidance around it or something like that? I remember when I got into commercial leasing, whoa, that was a very scary time in my life. And being so young, I thought people were going to sniff me out to be a phony, truthfully. And I relied on people who understood the game and learned from them at a really high level, and I concentrated around that to show my clients that I'm willing to learn and fight and work after hours just for you.
And you
That's
probably
the
noticed
value I
that a lot of people are phonies out there, and they're doing the same thing you are, that are just trying to play the role that they've decided to play.
I am very sure that, like, we all as human beings have so much going on in our life. Like, no one really has it 110% figured out ever. So ask a question, raise your hand. It's
And if they
okay.
tell you they do, they're lying to you.
Absolutely. Prove
Yeah.
them wrong.
One of the things that you touched on earlier that I want to go back to is as a young agent, you go to Bulge, you go to these KW things, and they tell you your database is everything. And then you see the reports that the average age of a first-time home buyer is 40 years old. So, that was, and it was lower when I started. But now, like, as a 24-year-old, you're 16 years younger than the average age of a first-time home buyer. How does that change the way you build relationships with the people at your age range? Because if you just looked at that on face value, that means your database is useless. And so what do you do differently now knowing that information?
Yeah, I love that. And I love the statistics around that, because when I saw NAR release that it was 37, I was like, oh, like, I'm a lot younger than 37. And then they upped it shortly after to
Yeah.
40. I was like, hey, why is it going up? So I would say, like, yeah, at face value, you see that, especially when you scroll on social media and you're like, ugh, I am not that age, thankfully.
Comedy shows everything. They all say you'll never buy a home.
Yeah. And for me, I tapped into the parents of my friends a lot of times. I would try to have good rapport with people who could connect me to people. So that's the biggest thing that I harp on with our agents. It's like, I don't care if you've never had a sphere of influence here. Like, you just moved to Binghamton, New York today, or Ithaca, New York, or Corning, New York today. Great. I don't care if you're halfway across the country. Does not matter, because now you get to connect with people who can connect you with people who can connect you with people. That's the name of the game. And you don't need to know every single person. What's the NAR statistic? It's like 4.1 million homes will sell in 2026. It might
The
be
next
less
year,
than that.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? You can't sell 50 of them. Go
Yeah.
get your unfair share.
I think there's also opportunity in your messaging to the 24-year-olds. And you know, a lot of real estate agents, if you're brand new listening to this, you're not going to know this quite yet, but your news feed is about to be messed up. You're just going to be friends with every agent under the sun. And we have to remind ourselves that that's not normal, right? We may be the only people that that people follow talking about these things, talking about the benefits of equity, talking about the benefits of wealth building. And I think you, as a 24-year-old agent, have a responsibility to your friend group, to your close friends and family members, saying, hey, don't listen to that. It might be 40, but we can make a 2-year plan for you, and you'll be in a home at 26, and you'll be ahead of 14 years of the act. And there's opportunity there. And I think, you know, as you know, the KWYP, that's our responsibility, is saying, okay, I get that it's 40. What can we do to help lower that number? Do we talk differently on social media? Do we go to our board of realtors? Do we go and help with the politics of the situations around the communities? That's our job.
Absolutely. Right. And I bless this person to the day that we are no longer here on this earth. One of my closest friends, we grew up together. He was the first person that listened to me, and probably the only person that listened to me. We graduated together.
In the beginning.
Yeah. Should put that in there. He listened. The second I got my license, he said, that's awesome, man. I can't afford a house, but how could I? And he had this creativity around him. He knew how money worked, grew up just like me, you know, in poverty. So we understood the value of the dollar because of that upbringing. And he is now a portfolio owner of 4 properties, about to buy his 5th. And he truly tapped into my knowledge. And when we didn't know together, we went and found it together. So at 18 years old, at 19 years old, you have those people who will listen and who will come closer to you. That's how you develop your friends, right? You can't build a business off of friendship, but you can build a lot of friends from friendship or from business. So tap into those people who are young and who do want to change their trajectory and who will tap in. They're out there. They are so out there. Educate yourself first, talk about it at a high level, and also to meet the gap. If it's 40 right now with NAR, if it's 50 by next year, I don't care. From 50 to the age you are now, well, 18 technically, because they can buy too, right?
Well, that's you touched on something else, which is, you know, we are in the social media economy of things nowadays. You're learning, like at 24, you're learning stuff all the time. Every time you learn something, and if you're not, you're doing something wrong, but you're learning stuff all the time. Go and make a video after you go and learn something, right? Be that education center for other people, and that's the people you will attract, the other people also looking to learn those things. And I think there's a lot of opportunity there for young people. A lot of people, I'm always blown away whenever I'm onboarding someone in their 20s, and they go, what content should I make? And I go, what did you learn today? And they said, well, I learned this, this, and this. I'm like, there you go. There's 4 videos based off what you just said. And the older people, again, we got new KWYP plugs in there. They're not going to make the videos every day. And the young people will. Go and do this. Go be the digital native that you are and create that content, and you'll be amazed at the people that you attract using that content. So, Glenn, is there anything I didn't ask you today that you wanted me to?
Other than the social security question, yeah.
Good. That was a test.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for being on the show, guys. We'll be back again next week with another episode. If you're looking to join KWYP, we're recording this on January 8th. This will go out January 9th. And you're in the New York area, we are hosting an AI mastermind sponsored by KWYP. We have other regional tech trainers coming on to that mastermind to help share their knowledge. And we really want to start building the word around YP, young professionals, and what it can do for your businesses, the networking, the community that we plan on building. We have a launch date of March. And if you are under the age of 40, then we want to talk to you. And we want to figure out how we can use this group to help build your business, build a better community for all of us younger people at Keller Williams. So reach out to us. Glen's part of the board. I am. We've got our president, Shay. You have a representative at your market center. You guys know how to get a hold of me if you want to get more information. So reach out to us. Glen, thank you so much for joining the show, man. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.